Shalom, shalom, shalom. How are you all this morning? It's 11:30. I am Atalia Israel, and I just wanted to come on today. We are in day 7 of Be Still, Be Quiet. Today we are talking about be still, trust, and wait on Yahuah. And so the scriptures that I have today, the first one is Lamentations 3:25 through 26, which reads, Yahuah is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. Seeketh is the word darash or darash in the Strongs, and it means to consult or inquire. And so verse 26 says, it is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of Yahuah. And then our next scripture is Job 14:14, which reads, if a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. And so if you guys know the story of Job, well, if you don't know the story of Job, I encourage you to go read it. It is a very humbling story, if I must say so myself. If you do know the story of Job, then you know that Job suffered greatly, right? He lost his children. Let me start off with saying he was very well known in the community. He was very well off. He was very obedient to the Most High. He trusted the Most High. Even to the point to where he would pray for his children in case they sinned, to cover them, right? And so he suffered greatly. And he suffered greatly not because of anything that he did personally. He suffered greatly because the serpent was telling the Most High that the only reason that Job is so faithful to you is because you've made provisions for him. It's because you've given him so much. You've blessed him so much, per se. And so Yahuah allowed the serpent to go and test Job, right? But he said, you can test him. You can do all these things, but you cannot kill him, right? You cannot take his life. And so the serpent, that's all he needed to hear, right? And sometimes in our lives, we have to understand that when we're going through certain things, it may not always be because of our disobedience. It may be a testing period for us where the Most High is giving the serpent the okay to go and test us to see, are we still going to remain truthful? Are we still going to remain obedient? Are we still going to remain faithful to him and to his word? And so the Most High allowed the serpent to go in and test Job. And so in that, Job lost his family, his children, he lost his animals, and then on top of, even in that, Job still praised the Most High, right? He still gave him glory, right? And in addition to losing all of his possessions, right, he also was afflicted on his body. And even in that, he praised the Most High. He gave thanks to the Most High. And so, but that doesn't mean that Job wasn't going through mental. Just imagine, you've lost your children, you've lost your possessions, and now you're afflicted on your body. People are looking at you crazy. Your so-called friends don't want to really have nothing to do with you because of how you're looking, because of what you're going through. And then on top of that, Job's wife, his significant other, his rib, right, told him that he ought to curse the Most High, right? So the one person who was supposed to be helping you go through what it is that you're going through was telling you to turn your back on the Most High, to curse the Most High. So Job 14:14 says, I'll read it again. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. And I read that and I'm just like, man, I've been through some things in my life. And in the things that I've been through, as we all have, we want to try to go in and try to fix it and try to make it right and try to bring ourselves up out of it. But Job is saying, all the days of my appointed time, right? So that means he knew that this was an appointed time, that he had to go through this, during this time, during this period, right? All the days of my appointed time will I wait. So he chose to wait on the Most High. Regardless of what he was going through, he was suffering, like I said, emotionally, I'm sure financially, physically, I'm sure mentally. He was probably like, what the heck is going on, right? So he was really suffering greatly. And even in that suffering, he still chose to wait, okay? And he says, all the days of my appointed time will I wait. That was a choice till my change come. So that means that till my change come, I see that as he trusted the Most High, regardless of what he was going through. He trusted and had faith in the Most High, that a change was going to come. He knew that as long as he was obedient and he continued to give the Most High glory and continued to praise his name and continued to trust him, that a change was going to come. And that change could be a renewal in our life, a renewal, a transformation, a release even, right? Job was willing to endure whatever he had to endure. He made the choice to wait on the Most High. When his wife said that you should curse the Most High, he chose to know, I'm just going to be still and be quiet, right? I'm just going to be still. I'm not finna try to take no actions into my own hands or try to fix nothing or try to do nothing. I'm just going to be still. And I'm going to trust the Most High because I know a change is going to come. So I'm going to trust the Most High and I'm going to wait. And so he made the choice to endure, right? And so that's what we have to do as we're going through the things that we're going through in life. I pray to the Most High, to Yahuah, my Father in heaven, that I never have to go through anything that Job went through, because I I could just imagine. I can't imagine. Let me say that. I don't even think I can imagine to have to go through all of this suffering back to back to back to back to back. Like I said, I've been through some things. I've lost significant people in my life within months of each other, within a year or so of each other. I've experienced being homeless with my children, not having anywhere to go and not really having the help. I have experienced that. I've experienced, pain in my body, chest pains, migraines, stuff like that. But I've never experienced anything to the extent that Job has experienced, right? And even in my experiences, my flesh was like, oh, I need to do this to try to fix this. I need to handle this to try to get out of this situation. When what I really should have been doing is just being still, trusting the Most High, being quiet and waiting on him, right? So Job 14:14 is really a good scripture. Like I said, the whole story of Job is really very humbling. At least it was for me, But in reading Job 14:14, it really just opened my eyes. Just sitting here reading it this morning, that regardless of what we're going through, all the days of our appointed time, we need to choose to wait until our change comes, right? We know that our change comes from Yahuah. We know that we don't need to be trying to fix things or rearrange things, because we can, like I've said before, completely mess it up. So we need to be still. We need to be quiet. We need to trust Yahuah. We need to wait on him. Okay? So As you're going throughout your day or you're doing your journaling, my question to you is, are you willing to wait on Yahuah until your change comes? Are you truly willing to just be still, trust him, and wait on him? If not, why not? Because is it because you think that you can handle it on your own? One thing we have to understand is we don't see things the way Yahuah sees things, right? His thoughts are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are not his thoughts. His ways are not our ways. Our ways are not his ways, right? And so he may have us in a certain situation. Again, one thing that I've learned being in this walk is everything is a test. Regardless, everything is a test, right? If I wake up in the morning and I stump my big toe on the side of the bed, I see that as a test. Am I going to start cursing, right? You know, which for some people, you stump your toe, that's probably the first thing you want to do is start cursing. Am I going to start cursing because I stumped my toe or not? So anyway, I don't want to make this too long. It's already probably longer than what I needed it to be, but again, be still, be quiet. Day 7, be still, trust, and wait on Yahuah. Again, are you willing to wait on Yahuah until your change comes? I hope and pray that you are. I also hope and pray that you are able to receive what I've been able to give this morning. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and shalom. I love you.